Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. Well, it's going to be a scorcher of a day today. I'm really using all my sources to charge up this one battery, top it off. We just recently turned off the inverter. This coffee's all done, but once you'll watch this. This is what's going on right now with the solar system. So we have the solar system, which is putting full output. It's topped off the battery. The battery is fully topped off now. So what I'm going to be doing is shutting off the generator, because I ran the generator this morning because I wanted to get an early start with the community refrigerator, that cooling off early because it's going to be really hot today. And then I'm going to be turning the generator off for the rest of the day. We're going to switch to the solar system, run off of the inverter there and save energy. And then at the same time, we'll have the solar panel feeding back into the system. And so I've been recording and documenting all of the things that are going on with the solar system. And so we know that for sure that it will take 6 panels that'll give us 600 watts of input for approximately 5 to 6 hours a day. Right now, during the peak of summer, we're getting about 9 hours of energy, and so we can really store a lot of energy on batteries. We're going to be increasing the battery bank here. This is just the test battery. What we found is that we need at least 8 of these batteries so that we can run the inverter at full output. And then that will draw approximately 20 to 25 amps per battery, because it's going to take nearly 220 amps. That's what that inverter takes to create 4,000 watts, 420 volts AC. But it takes 220 amps of DC 12 volt power to create that. So that's a lot of energy being used, and that's why we have to spread that large usage out across so many of the flooded cell batteries. And the reason why we're using flood cell batteries, number one, the cost is much lower at just under $300 a battery, versus the same thing in a lithium ion would be nearly $500. And then when we go up to a 300 amp hour battery, it goes to $1,300 on a per battery. And with 300 amp hours, we still need 8 of them. And so we're looking at nearly $10,000 for lithium ion batteries. So that's definitely out of the price range. That's why we're staying with flooded cell batteries. Number one, they're much cheaper, more cost effective. While they don't last anywhere near that of a lithium battery, we can swap out batteries and still break even at the $10,000 mark on replacing these flooded cells. Typically, these are going to be good for about 2 years undisturbed. All the simple maintenance on this would be just checking the water, as you see, there's water caps on the top, and then you just top off the water, make sure that this top of the lead cells don't get air, and then that way everything works just fine. And the battery has a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer, which in this case was Battery Plus. So free replacement up to 1 year, and then after that you're on your own. These are industrial batteries. This is the type of battery that you would start the large Caterpillar type equipment with and operate a large equipment with that. So these are that type of batteries. These are equivalent to 3 Group 27 car batteries. So it has a lot of capacity. They're about 130 pounds each, and they provide a lot of energy. And so that's why we went with this option, and also the other reason why we were looking at some other battery options, and unfortunately the heat is a problem. And then with some companies, one company in particular, their battery units went up in flames not too long ago, about a year ago, and burned down a couple of Walmarts along with the solar array on the roof. So we're not going with that system. This is a very safe system, and because the number of batteries that are going to be involved, it's very unlikely that anybody's going to want to try and steal these, because they're so darn heavy, they're bulky, and they're a pain in the butt to move. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. Also today is going to be really, really hot here in the Bay Area. We're talking about 80s, mid 80s to almost 90. I would expect out here to be pretty close to 90, even though they said mid 80s. I would figure 90s because we're surrounded by a lot of concrete, asphalt, so that brings up the temperatures here. So anyway, if you really want to help out folks, deliver water, bottles of water to encampments. Also, folks, this is the final test and the final results that I'm verifying for the Conestoga Hut community that I'm going to be putting together here at 77th Avenue. I'm going to post a link if you want to help out with offsetting the costs of the Conestoga huts. And each of the Conestoga huts we're equipping with a solar power system so that our senior ladies are much safer. They have a door that they can lock and be much better situation and safe, secure. We're also putting in a full bathroom for them with a shower, hot and cold running water, solar electricity, and a mini kitchen. The mini kitchen will also have hot and cold running water, and then that way they can also operate a microwave oven with this inverter, and they can also there's a hot water tank, 4-gallon hot water tank, so that there's hot water for the shower and also for washing dishes in the kitchen. And it's all powered by that inverter right there. So these are all great things. Today is also they're talking about PG&E shutting down the grid, or possibly shutting down the grid depending on load. This is one of the great features about tiny homes. We have complete off-grid electrical systems, so days like this don't affect us. We have a backup generator for the system on very cold or cool, cloudy days where we don't get as much sun, but we're still able to keep a charge on batteries going forward into the future. So we have good contingencies. We've had excellent results. The calculations that I had put together for this project and for the system are all been pretty much verified, and those numbers should be very accurate versus folks that just take the numbers, the base numbers that manufacturers give you, which really aren't realistic, for the most part, is what I've been finding. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. Help the folks by getting water out to the streets. Support our senior ladies with the Conestoga huts and this electrical system. This takes a load off of PG&E and our power grid. This is all independent, clean energy that's being created by the sun. And so we have great eco-friendly type of homes coming to Oakland here shortly with my PATH program. These are all features that are going to be inside of each of the tiny homes that we're looking at. We're also working on 2 other projects here in Oakland and with tiny homes. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep you informed. We'll be right back, folks.